Moon opposing Ketu in karmic synastry is one of the most haunting signatures. In this configuration, one person's moon, the heart and subconscious, sits directly across from the other's Ketu, the south node, the repository of past life memory and detachment, placing the moon in conjunction with the other person's Rahu, the north node. Because the moon represents our most vulnerable emotional needs and Ketu represents what we have already finished, or are meant to let go of, this aspect creates a magnetic but ultimately destabilizing karmic loop. The psychic déjà vu. When your moon opposes someone's Ketu, the initial meeting often feels like a reunion, rather than an introduction. You don't just like this person, you recognize them. The moon person feels an immediate sense of safety and irrational trust. They may feel that the Ketu person holds the key to their emotional history. The Ketu person feels a sense of deep familiarity but also a strange, lurking desire to retreat. They represent a been there, done that energy for the moon person's soul. This is a classic Renanubandhana, karmic debt placement. It suggests that in a previous incarnation, these two souls were likely family members, often mother and child or close domestic partners, where the emotional bond was intense, perhaps even smothering. The pull of the past versus the call of the future. Because the moon is opposing Ketu, it is by definition conjunct the partner's Rahu. This creates a painful tug-of-war between comfort and growth. The Rahu/Ketu axis. The Ketu partner is trying to move away from past habits, represented by Ketu, toward their future destiny, Rahu. The moon's dilemma. The moon person's very presence activates the Ketu person's past. While the moon person wants to nestle into the familiarity of the south node, the Ketu person on a soul level is trying to evolve away from that exact energy. This often manifests as the Ketu person feeling drained or suffocated by the moon person's emotional needs, while the moon person feels rejected or iced out by the Ketu person's sudden bouts of detachment. The Grahan eclipse effect. In Vedic astrology, Ketu is a Chayagraha, shadow planet, that can swallow the moon. This creates a psychological dynamic of emotional invisibility, emotional fog. The moon person may feel that no matter how much they give or emote, the Ketu person doesn't truly see them in the present moment. The Ketu person is looking at the moon person through the lens of an old past life script. The vanishing act. Ketu is the planet of moksha, liberation, and withdrawal. In this synastry, the Ketu person may periodically disappear emotionally or physically. This triggers intense abandonment anxiety in the moon person, who feels a primal, karmic need to stay connected. Karmic lessons and resolution. The karmic goal isn't necessarily to live happily ever after in a traditional sense, but to resolve a specific emotional debt. Learning boundaries. The moon person must learn to self-soothe. They are being taught that their security cannot come from a source that is inherently trying to detach. Ketu. Processing grief. Often this synastry brings up unexplained sadness. It is the processing of a separation that happened lifetimes ago, but was never fully grieved. Validation of the intuitive. Both partners likely share a psychic link. They may dream of each other or sense each other's moods across long distances. The lesson is to use this connection for spiritual growth, rather than emotional control. Moon opposing Ketu is not a death sentence for a relationship, but it is a sign that the union is transformative, rather than merely comfortable. It is a high-watch relationship that demands both partners be aware of their shadow selves. When the debt is paid, which can take months or decades, the relationship will either evolve into a highly spiritual partnership or the two souls will feel a quiet, mutual permission to let go. Would you like me to look at the house placements for this opposition to see which specific area of life, e.g., career, home, or hidden secrets, this karma is playing out in? To expand further on this profound connection, we have to look at the psychological plumbing of the aspect. Moon Ketu synastry doesn't just sit on the surface. It reaches into the basement of the subconscious. The Ketu partner feels a heavy, dusty weight. They may feel like they are being asked to pay a bill for a meal they don't remember eating. The mechanics of emotional cooling. Ketu is often described as Mars-like but internalized. It is sharp, acidic, and seeks to sever ties to the material world. When it touches the moon, the water of our emotions, it creates a steam effect. The emotions are evaporated. The Ketu numbness. In times of crisis, The moon person will reach out for emotional validation. Paradoxically, this is exactly when the Ketu person might go cold or blank. This isn't because they are cruel. It's because Ketu's job is to show the moon person that external security is an illusion. The moon's hunger. The more the Ketu person withdraws, the more hungry the moon person becomes for a sign of affection. This creates a cycle where the moon person pursues and the Ketu person retreats to preserve their own psychic space. The sacrificial element of the bond. Ketu represents where we have given it all away in previous lives. In this synastry, there is often a theme of sacrifice. One partner may have to give up a significant part of their lifestyle, comfort, or emotional safety to be with the other. There is a feeling of fated tragedy or bittersweet love. It is the classic star-crossed lover's archetype. You may love each other deeply, but the circumstances of your lives, the Rahu side of the axis, often pull you in directions that make emotional peace difficult to maintain. The telepathic burden. Because Ketu is a headless body, it operates entirely on instinct and vibration, not logic. No words needed. These two often communicate without speaking. The moon person's moods are instantly picked up by the Ketu person's nervous system. The lack of privacy. This can be exhausting. The Ketu person may feel they have no psychic privacy because the moon person is always feeling them. This can lead to the Ketu person creating hard, sometimes harsh walls to protect their energy. Healing the loop from enmeshment to enlightenment. The highest expression of moon opposing Ketu is spiritual companionship. Once the hunger of the moon and the detachment of Ketu are understood, the relationship becomes a vessel for profound psychic healing. The moon person's gift. They provide the Ketu person with a soft landing in a world that Ketu finds alien and harsh. The Ketu person's gift. They act as a spiritual anchor, teaching the moon person that their soul is complete even without constant external reassurance.